outside, get some air and clear my head. The house had felt a little smaller after sitting there all day. So I took the jacket by the doorway, left the television on, told myself I'd make one circle, then be back before too long. Downtown had a little color that the afternoon had missed. A bookstore kept its lights on late. Two clerks laughed behind the glass. I ran into somebody I knew, hadn't seen him since last spring. We stood talking on the sidewalk like neither one had somewhere else to be. Some nights don't ask permission, they just open up a door. Give you one more conversation, one more block you've walked before. Nothing grand has got to happen, nothing needs to change your life. Sometimes staying out a little is enough to make the evening right. He left to catch the last train home. I kept walking toward the square. A man was closing up his flower stand, still had roses everywhere. I bought one without a reason, carried it another mile. A woman passing with her groceries looked at me and had to smile. Some nights don't ask permission, they just open up a door. Give you one more conversation, one more block you've walked before. Nothing grand has got to happen, nothing needs to change your life. Sometimes staying out a little is enough to make the evening right. I used to think a proper evening needed somewhere it should lead, a reservation, celebration, something worth remembering. Now I know the smaller hours have a way of giving back what you miss when every minute has a purpose and a plan. Some nights don't ask permission, they just open up the door. Give you one more conversation, one more block you've walked before. Nothing grand has got to happen, nothing needs to change your life. Sometimes staying out a little is enough to make the evening right. When I finally reached my front steps, the whole street had settled down. I put the rose into some water, turned the television off. Nothing happened worth explaining. If somebody asked me why, I just got home a little later than planned and didn't mind it this time. said you only came downtown because your sister needed something. Funny how she disappeared the minute you walked through the door. You said you hadn't planned on staying and took your coat off anyway. I nodded like I hadn't noticed and let you have it your own way. You blamed the weather for your timing, said the traffic made you late. Said you hadn't seen my message till you happened by the place. I admire a good explanation, especially one told that well. But some stories lose their innocence when the teller starts to smile. You can blame it on the weather, you can blame it on the street. You can say you only wandered in because your evening changed. But your smile keeps interrupting every reason that you try. Some stories don't need proving when both people know just why. Hey, I said I might be leaving shortly. You said that's probably for the best. Then somehow 20 minutes later, neither one had made a move. You asked if I believed your story. I said enough to let it stand. Some things don't improve by naming what both people understand. You can blame it on the weather, you can blame it on the street. You can say you only wandered in because your evening changed. But your smile keeps interrupting every reason that you try. Some stories don't need proving when both people know just why. Maybe we are both too old now for pretending not to know why somebody takes the long way past the place they meant to avoid. So keep your explanation, I won't ask you to revise. A little mystery looks better when nobody asks for reasons. You can blame it on the weather, you can blame it on the street. You can say you only wandered in because your evening changed. But your smile keeps interrupting every reason that you try. Some stories don't need proving when both people know just why. You finally called your sister, said you'd see her Saturday. I kept looking straight ahead like I hadn't heard a thing. You shook your head and started laughing, said don't look so satisfied. I said nothing, which was kinder than saying you make a poor alibi. There was a time I needed noise to know that something mattered. Big beginnings, bigger endings, plans that filled the calendar. Now I wake before the alarm, make coffee while the house is still, and find myself appreciating how little needs repairing. The bills get paid most months on time. The car starts when I need it. There are people I can call who don't require an explanation. I know which floorboard makes a sound, which your neighbor leaves for work too early. None of that would impress my younger self, which makes me smile these days. The best things arrive quietly, They don't announce themselves, they settle into ordinary days and slowly make a home. No fireworks across the ceiling, no crowd to say you've won, just waking up and realizing you already have enough. I used to envy complicated people. Their stories sounded large, always leaving, always starting, always somewhere slightly far. Now when somebody asks what's new, sometimes I say not much, and hear how fortunate those words can be when spoken without disappointment. The best things arrive quietly, they don't announce themselves, they settle into ordinary days and slowly make a home. No fireworks across the ceiling, no crowd to say you've won, just waking up and realizing you already have enough. Peace would have bored me at 25. I thought calm meant standing still. I didn't know how much it costs to build a life that doesn't need escaping. There is a luxury in knowing where you'll lay your head tonight, and reach an evening without wishing you were living someone else's life. The best things arrive quietly, they don't announce themselves, they settle into ordinary days and slowly make a home. No fireworks across the ceiling, no crowd to say you've won, just waking up and realizing you already have enough. Nothing happened here this morning except the sun came through the blinds. Someone waved from across the driveway and I waved back in return. I stood there longer than I needed with nowhere else to run. Funny how it took me half a lifetime to call it the quiet kind of good. Yeah. There's a place around the corner with a sign that's lost 2 letters. Door still sticks when it gets humid. Owner says he'll fix it soon. Same 3 men debate the ball game, like the outcome could be changed. And the woman by the register knows everybody's middle name. They stopped taking reservations somewhere back around '09. Menu hasn't changed in 20 years. Nobody seems to mind. There's a handwritten little notice taped crooked by the light. Says the card machine is acting up, so it's cash across the counter tonight. Nobody here is in a hurry. whatever comes from the kitchen. And conversation with the rest, the chairs don't match, the paint is tired. The service has its own ideas, but somehow places that aren't perfect are the ones we miss when gone. Mr. Lewis tells the same joke. I pretend I haven't heard. Somebody's nephew just got married. Everybody gets the news. A young man asks why people bother coming back week after week. I watch four strangers move together so an older man can reach his seat. Nobody here is in a hurry. Nobody came to be impressed. You get whatever comes from the kitchen. In conversation with the rest, the chairs don't match, the paint is tired. The service has its own ideas, but somehow places that aren't perfect are the ones we miss when gone. They'll probably build apartments here with polished glass and private doors. Put a coffee shop downstairs that closes promptly after 4. Maybe progress needs its spaces, maybe nothing gets to stay. Still I hope somebody remembers what this room once gave to people. Nobody here is in a hurry. Nobody came to be impressed. You get whatever comes from the kitchen. In conversation with the rest, the chairs don't match, the paint is tired. The service has its own ideas, but somehow places that aren't perfect are the ones we miss when gone. I folded 20 on the counter, told the owner keep the rest. He said machine should work tomorrow. I said don't hurry on my account. He laughed and turned a little sign before switching off the light. I walked home with lighter pockets, glad they'd been cash only tonight. The kitchen drawer still catches, unless you lift it when you pull. There's a stain beside the doorway from the winter pipes giving way. We kept saying we'd repaint it every spring for 15 years. Somehow other things kept mattering, and somehow we're still here. There are arguments between us that never found a proper end. Things we learned to walk around instead of digging up again. You still think I work too much, I still think you worry first. Neither one has changed completely. Maybe neither one has to. Love didn't solve every problem. Time didn't make us always right. survive. But we learned which ones were dangerous and which could simply live nearby. A life can hold imperfections and still be worth the work. There were seasons we were distant, though neither one was ready to leave. Days when every small irritation seemed to matter more than most. Then somebody needed caring, or a child called late at night, and whatever stood between us lost its size beneath real life. Love didn't solve every problem. Time didn't make us always right. Some corners stayed unfinished. Some old differences survived. But we learned which ones were dangerous and which could simply live nearby. A life can hold imperfections and still be worth the work. I wouldn't tell a younger couple that endurance fixes all. Some things should be confronted, some walls deserve to fall. But there is wisdom in deciding which battles are worth the cost, and knowing every rough edge is an evidence that love is lost. Love didn't solve every problem. Time didn't make us always right. Some corners stayed unfinished. Some old differences survived. But we learned which ones were dangerous and which could simply live nearby. A life can hold imperfections and still be worth the work. That drawer still needs attention. The hallway could use paint. You still leave the cupboard open. I still leave my papers everywhere. We could spend another decade making everything behave, or sit here with the things we never fixed and love what we managed to say. My brother drove across the state to help his youngest daughter move. Called me from a filling station, said the sky ahead looked like rain. I told him take the slower road. He said you sound just like our dad. I said, that's becoming less insulting the older that I get. My oldest friend still travels more than anyone I know. Sends me pictures from airports at unreasonable times. I never ask for souvenirs or need a daily report. I just like knowing somebody made it safely through the door. Care gets less dramatic with age, and somehow more sincere. It sounds like take your jacket, or the road gets bad from here. It isn't always poetry, it rarely makes a scene. Sometimes love is simply noticing who hasn't checked in yet. My son once rolled his eyes at me for asking when he'd be home. Now he's got a boy in college 300 miles away. He called last week near midnight, said, I finally understand. I laughed harder than I should have, then told him he'd be fine. Care gets less dramatic with age, and somehow more sincere. It sounds like take your jacket, or the road gets bad from here. It isn't always poetry, it rarely makes a scene. Sometimes love is simply noticing who hasn't checked in yet. We spend our younger years believing freedom means nobody asks. Then someday absence feels different when the silence lasts too long. There's comfort in a person who remembers where you went, not because they need to hold you, just because you matter somewhere. Care gets less dramatic with age, and somehow more sincere. It sounds like take your jacket, or the road gets bad from here. It isn't always poetry, it rarely makes a scene. Sometimes love is simply noticing who hasn't checked in yet. My brother reached his daughter's place just after 10:30. He sent one word, made it. I sent a thumbs up back, no speech about affection, no reason to explain. Next time he leaves, I'll say the same thing. Call me when you get there.
Yeah. You found the receipt in my jacket from that bakery downtown. That's why anybody needs 6 pastries when there's only 2 at home. I said 2 were for tomorrow. You said that's a lovely thought. Then looked directly at my waistline like tomorrow wasn't bought. Last week I said I'd fix the cabinet before the weekend came. Saturday became a ball game. Sunday somehow did the same. You stood there with a screwdriver, said, should I write down the date? I said, patience is attractive. You said, then you're looking great. You don't have to say a word now. Your face has done enough. I've lived beside that eyebrow long enough to know what's up. I can defend my reputation. I can build a decent case. But every argument gets weaker when you make that particular face. I bought another pair of shoes. You counted 4 beside the door. I said each one has a purpose. You asked what purpose needed more. Then you walked away still smiling, which is worse than being mad. A man can't survive an accusation. It's the grin that does him in. You don't have to say a word now. Your face has done enough. I've lived beside that eyebrow long enough to know what's up. I can defend my reputation. I can build a decent case. But every argument gets weaker when you make that particular face. I know all your little signals. You know every one of mine. You can tell when I'm pretending. I can tell when you let it slide. That's the trouble with long loving. There is nowhere good to hide. Your witness knows the defendant and still keeps him around. You don't have to say a word now. Your face has done enough. I've lived beside that eyebrow long enough to know what's up. I can defend my reputation. I can build a decent case. Oh, yeah. But every argument gets weaker when you make that particular face. Tonight I bought more pastries, only 3 this time around. You looked inside the paper bag, then slowly looked me up and down. I said, before you start your sermon, you laughed and pulled me close. I said, don't give me that look. You said, then stop earning it. Across downtown, everybody there looked younger and nobody knew me there.
teacher showed us how to start. I got the first part wrong. Spent 40 years avoiding looking foolish, then laughed and carried on. At work I knew which door to open, which number somebody should call. People came to me for answers, I got comfortable with that. But there is something almost freeing in not knowing what comes next. When nobody expects you to be useful and you don't expect it of yourself. I spent enough years knowing how the room is supposed to run. There's a pleasure in not knowing and a freedom in getting it wrong. I can ask the simple questions, I can take the slower road. Funny how much younger life can feel when you've still got things to learn. By the fourth week I was better, not impressive, just improved. One of the younger fellows asked me why I kept coming back. I said most of life rewards you for already knowing how. It's nice to have one place each week where nobody cares about that. I spent enough years knowing how the room is supposed to run. There's a pleasure in not knowing and a freedom in getting it wrong. I can ask the simple questions, I can take the slower road. Funny how much younger life can feel when you still got things to learn. Sometimes maybe confidence has worth, but competence can build a room you forget that you can leave. So I'll keep one thing in my life that makes me ask for help. A man can know a lot of things and still surprise himself. I spent enough years knowing how the room is supposed to run. There's a pleasure in not knowing and a freedom in getting it wrong. I can ask the simple questions, I can take the slower road. Funny how much younger life can feel when you still got things to learn. I signed up for another month before I left tonight. Still miss half the instructions, still need somebody to show me twice. I spent years being the one with answers, that was good for what it was. But it feels pretty good at my age to be a beginner again. Number stayed inside my phone 3 years after you were gone. Not because I planned on calling, I just couldn't press delete. Every now and then I'd see it, looking for somebody else, and think about the conversation we never managed to complete. The last time that we spoke, I was distracted, you were tired. You said we'll talk when things are quieter. I said sure, give me some time. There was nothing in that moment that announced itself as last. That's the trouble with goodbye sometimes, you only learn it afterward. I had better words inside me, I just thought there would be time. Thought affection could stay understood without ever being said. Now I know silence isn't cruel, but it can leave an empty space where ordinary words once waited
for an ordinary day. I would have thanked you for the rides home, back when I couldn't buy a car, for never making help feel heavy, for knowing when to leave things alone. I would have said I noticed more than I ever let you know, how you made the room feel easier simply by arriving there. I had better words inside me, I just thought there would be time, thought affection could stay understood without ever being said. Now I know silence isn't cruel, but it can leave an empty space where ordinary words once waited for an ordinary day. Regret likes grand confessions, but mine is smaller than all that. I don't need to rewrite history or pretend we never disagreed. I only wish I'd made more room for simple things while you were near. The thank you and the I missed you, the simple I'm glad you're here. I had better words inside me, I just thought there would be time, thought affection could stay understood without ever being said. Now I know silence isn't cruel, but it can leave an empty space where ordinary words once waited for an ordinary day. Your number isn't in my phone now, I finally let it go, but some nights I still imagine one last ordinary call. Nothing dramatic, nothing polished, just enough to make things clear. Those are the words I should have said when there was still somebody there. My father left the porch light burning anytime we came home late. Said it wasn't for protection, just helped us find our way. I thought it was unnecessary till I had children of my own. Then somehow every little journey needed proof they'd made it home. Years went by, the house got quieter, different cars filled up the drive, bedrooms turned to storage spaces, everybody built a life. Still on certain Sunday evenings, somebody stays past 9:30, and when their taillights reach the corner, I stand watching for a while. Home isn't always where you started, or even where you sleep. Some place that keeps your seat. No questions at the doorway, no performance to put on, just somewhere you can turn toward when the rest of the day feels long. My youngest called last winter from a city full of snow. Said, Dad, I might come by next weekend. I said, you know you're always welcome. She laughed and said, you still do that? I knew exactly what she meant. Some habits become promises without anybody calling them that. Home isn't always where you started, or even where you sleep. Sometimes it's simply knowing there's a place that keeps your seat. No questions at the doorway, no performance to put on, just somewhere you can turn toward when the rest of the day feels long. People need their distance, they need doors they close themselves. Love that never loosens can become another kind of weight. So I learned to let them travel without asking them to stay, and keep one quiet little signal that the road still works both ways. Oh, home isn't always where you started, or even where you sleep. Sometimes it's simply knowing there's a place that keeps your seat. No questions at the doorway, no performance to put on, just somewhere you can turn toward when the rest of the day feels long. She pulled into the driveway later than she'd said she'd come. Looked up through the windshield, smiling at that familiar little glow. I opened up the front door before she reached the lawn. Some things don't need explaining, just leave the porch light on. I never built a famous company, never saw my name in lights, never owned a house behind tall gates, or lived the kind of life that makes the news. There were dreams I stopped pursuing, some because I changed my mind, some because the door stayed closed until I stopped knocking there. But I worked enough to feed us, found a few things I did well, made mistakes that cost me dearly, learned some lessons later than I should. I was loved more than I expected, loved some people as well as I could, lost a few I thought were permanent, and some are with me still. Maybe your life is not a scoreboard, maybe nobody keeps the count, maybe all the little pieces
you held and words you meant might be more than enough in the end. I watched children become adults, watched my parents become frail, sat beside a couple hospital beds, waited through some difficult calls. I've laughed until my chest hurt, cried where nobody could see, had mornings I was glad to wake up, and others I just got through. Maybe life is not a scoreboard, maybe nobody keeps the count, maybe all the little pieces are the measure. After all, days you showed up when it mattered, nights you stayed when leaving was easy, hands you held and words you meant might be more than enough in the end. If I could change a few decisions, I probably wouldn't, that's the truth. Wisdom doesn't make the past perfect, it just changes what you do. But I wouldn't trade the whole road just to straighten every bend. The wrong turns taught me patience, the right ones gave me somewhere to stand. Maybe your life is not a scoreboard, maybe nobody keeps the count. Oh, maybe all the little pieces are the measure. After all, days you showed up when it mattered, nights you stayed when leaving was easy, hands you held and words you meant might be more than enough in the end. So if tomorrow comes quietly, I'll get up and meet it there, make the coffee, open curtains, see what weather fills the air. And whenever all this finishes, I won't need a grand goodbye. I had people, work and laughter, enough to call it a life.